Nation, and welcome to this spooky top 10. In honor of the movie Smile 2, which I have not seen the first Smile, and I don't know if I'll really see the second one. I heard the first one got good reviews, and the second one looks creepy as hell. It's not my genre of film. And since it's October, which people are in love with horror movies, I thought I would do my top 10 horror movies. Now, spoiler warning. This is not your must-see top 10. This is my top 10. Just like every other video, but especially this genre, because horror is not my favorite genre. And horror, I think, encompasses a lot of different categories, because you can go from a slasher films, you can go to zombie films, vampire films, and so there's all these different kind of genres in its own, and then psychological thrillers, which is really my favorite style of horror, because there's nothing more scary than the human condition in the brain, and I have a couple of those films, so for me, those are the films that terrify me more. And, there are some movies, and if you just turn on the news channel right now and watch politicians lie to you, that's probably the biggest horror thing going on right now anyways. So, sit back, relax, and enjoy this month's top 10. And my number 10 is Happy Death Day. Happy Death Day is a slasher film. It's about this girl. She keeps repeating the day over and over again. Groundhog Day. Someone keeps murdering her, and she's trying to figure out who killed her. So it's kind of fun. It's really funny because she's trying to figure out who's killing her over and over again, and then you just keep getting killed over and over, and you're like, man, I keep failing this. It's Groundhog Day syndrome. This is such a good movie, and the sequel's not terrible, and even the movie, the spinoff, which it's not really a spinoff, it can be Freaky, which is a Freaky Friday twist in there. I really like Happy Death Day. I think it's a really good one. My number 9 is Split. Split was that film starring James McAvoy where he has these girls kidnapped, and it's James McAvoy has all these different personalities, and he has one that's about to be revealed, and just kind of the and what this guy is trying to do, and what it kind of builds into two other movies that are based around Split is really cool. I don't want to give it away if people have not seen it, but the ending and the musical score Split that connects it to another M. Night Shyamalan movie is absolutely incredible. I love Split. James McAvoy is creepy as hell. I think Split really changed the direction of his career, because he was just this guy. He was Professor X, and then he did some other things. I think he's really good. In Split. My number 8 is Shaa The Dead. Yes, it's a comedy film, but it's a zombie movie. Zombies show up in this world and around, I think it's like London or somewhere in England. And so you have Simon Pegg and Nick Frost, who are they're just like, alright, we pick up our loved ones, we go to the bar, we drink till it all blows over. I love Shaa The Dead. I think it's such a good film. It's such a good zombie film, and I love zombie movies. I don't have a lot. One day I will try to do a top 10 zombie movies. Maybe that'll be next Halloween. So Shaa The Dead is incredibly good. I really enjoy it. My number 7 is A Quiet Place. Quiet Place, the first one, even though I think all 3 of the Quiet Place Part 2 is really good too, and Quiet Place Day 1 is great. The idea of these monsters who are attracted to sound wipe out the entire human race is just a great time to watch a movie. I really like how there's hardly any dialogue. John Krasinski directs the hell. He's also great in this movie. To actually have a little girl who is actually deaf, this is how she would actually operate in this world. And also Emily Blunt, that moment when she steps into the nail, you're just like, oh my god! It's just great. I love A Quiet Place. It's such a good film. My number 6 is Halloween. This is the 2018 version of Halloween. I know the next 2 movies aren't that good because I haven't seen them. But when I saw this Halloween, I was like, my god, this is a really good movie. I loved because Michael Myers is obviously the go-to horror slasher one. And he is so creepy. But I love just the shows, the physical force of them, and I like how this is like a direct sequel to the original. 'Cause really, the original Halloween, it's fine. It just, some people have more of attachment to it. I don't. But this one is great. Like the moment at the beginning at the insane asylum and you hear everyone laughing is just great. I absolutely love Halloween. This one is really, it's a really cool little film. My number 5 is Nightcrawler. Nightcrawler is more of those psychological thriller films, and it is Jake Gyllenhaal. He's trying to make it big as trying to find this thing. He's trying to capture the news, and basically he sets stuff up to make it even more gruesome than what it actually is, and it's just, you're just like, oh my god, this guy is absolutely crazy. And Jake Gyllenhaal was not even nominated for an Oscar, and he is so creepily good in this movie. I absolutely love Nightcrawler. If you've not seen Nightcrawler, do yourself a favor, watch Nightcrawler. My number 3 is It. The first part 1, not part 2. I like part 2, but I like part 1 a little more, just because part 1 is creepy. Because the original film with Tim Curry freaked me out when I was a kid, and this one freaked me out as an adult. I guess I had more of an adult brain, so I was able to comprehend it more. But it is just so good. The clown Pennywise is so creepy. Like whenever the beginning, whenever he chops off Georgie's hand like a xenomorph from Alien, you're just like, holy crap! I love it. It's such a good one. And then the second one's good. I would love to see a version of the movie that has it all at once. I guess they could just watch them back to back, but I think it'd be cool to watch the movie like in a chronological order version of it. So maybe we'll see that one day. My number 3 is Seven. Seven for me is probably my favorite movie. It's one of my favorite movies on this list, maybe other than my number 1. But because this is a horror list, I had to include a couple movies that are a little more horror based. But the idea of someone recreating these 7 deadly sins, and then the classic scene of I mean, Seven for me is just creepy. It's tense. It's just such a good film. Brad Pitt's great. Morgan Freeman, how they play off each other. How Morgan Freeman, he is that old cop who's ready to retire. He's getting too over this shit, kind of sense. And then you have Brad Pitt. He was the young cocky cock who's trying to make a name for himself. And these two are working a case together. And then Kevin Spacey, say what he is, probably a piece of crap, but he is absolutely incredible as John Doe, which we still don't know his name, which is such a cool thing about this movie. And David Fincher directs it, which really, I think, after Seven, you saw some of his other films. Seven's not my favorite. Fight Club's my favorite David Fincher film, but Seven is so good. My number 2 is Scream. Scream for me is my favorite slasher film. It is it's just a story about these people that are dressing up as Ghostface. They're trying to get their revenge on this girl named Sydney, and then it's also poking fun, but also paying homage to other horror slasher films like Psycho, to Halloween, Friday the 13th, Nightmare Before Elm Street, I believe this movie was directed by Wes Craven, who recreate the horror genre with this film, and I love it. I think all the ones are really enjoyable. Really, my second favorite one is the last one, Scream Part 6, which is because it changes the scenery and sets it up in New York. And Scream 6 made my top 10 last year, which is just a credit to that. And my number one horror movie is Jaws. You know, when I was searching up Jaws, it wasn't even listed down as a horror movie. Jaws is absolutely a horror film. The shark has his own music. He has a high body count, and it is more of a summer action-y blockbuster film. But Jaws, I mean, to take something that was a huge failure with the animatronic not working in salt water and make it where you don't even see the shark, and you hear the great John Williams do 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 do. This created a psychological thing with humans' minds for still to this day that I'm not going in that water. Jaws is out there. There are people that will not go into that. It created a universal fear of the ocean because, unlike some of these others, This is real. Sharks are real. And that's what makes Jaws so good. Are the other Jaws movies not that good? No, they're not. Has movies tried to recreate Jaws? Absolutely. Have they failed completely? They have failed completely. But Jaws, for me, when I think of horror, I think of Jaws. And for me, it's my favorite film. And it's very high in my top 100 movies of all time. And Jaws definitely deserves to be my favorite horror movie. And I know people are like, are you kidding me? Jaws is your favorite movie? Hey, list your top 10. This is a personal list, and if you want to see a more horror top 10 list, you can search that up and probably find it. But this is, for me, these are the films that I really enjoy, and there are some films I haven't seen. I'm not a big possession person. I'm not a big Exorcist guy. So, for me, this is my top 10. So, guys, what are your favorite horror movies? And what movie are you going to watch this Halloween? And are you looking forward to Smile 2? Wherever they are, comment below. Let me know. And guys, if you like this video, don't forget to subscribe to more. Tell your friends about Easy Nation. All too easy. Happy Halloween.